And from my perspective, the point is this, as a value. Nobody should be made to fight alone. Nobody should have to fight their fight alone. It's a really basic principle. And that is the principle, among many, upon which labor came into being. That worker who might be working 2 jobs, who's trying to pay the bill, who might have a sick baby at home, they shouldn't have to just negotiate one-on-one with the employer. There's no power in that.
Because I come from what we shall call a purple state, right? Sometimes it goes Republican, sometimes it goes Democratic. So if you really want to make those fundamental changes on the state basis, then you've also got to change some of those governors out, which, by the way, thank you, Illinois, you did that. The lead plaintiff, one of the lead plaintiffs in that Janus case was, in fact, the former governor of Illinois. So my first answer to you is just straight out, you win. You take on these elections, you do what SEIU has done, which is to knock on, what was it, over 3 million doors in the last election. And because of that work, you turn those governors' races, which can turn the politics, which can turn those policies. And then you also made the House of Representatives the people's house again. And then that allows us to take those policies on in a big way.
If we are to be successful against these challenges and these threats, we will need all of us. It cannot be met by half measure or only half the country. Our democracy must work, and we must also have an economic democracy that works as well. That means a living wage for every American, fighting for and winning $15 an hour. One job should be enough. Paid family leave so that you can take care of your family, yourself, your parents, and not lose your job over it. Child care that you can afford, and health care that's guaranteed as a fundamental right for every single American. This is how we get both our political democracy and our economic democracy working. And unions, where these two ideas come together, political and economic democracy, are absolutely essential to the future of this country.
I have a track record. I served on the City Council of San Antonio. I served as mayor of San Antonio. I served as HUD secretary. At every juncture of my public service career, I have been supportive of labor. I have encouraged employees to be part of labor when I was city councilman and mayor, supporting the efforts of SEIU back then as they organized at City Hall, supporting their efforts as they tried to organize nurses in San Antonio, and at HUD as well, supporting the rights of federal government employees as they negotiated a contract with the federal government. And I will continue to do that if I'm president. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was at my alma mater at Stanford, and I visited with the local SEIU chapter out there because they're getting ready to negotiate a contract with Stanford University. So I signed on to a letter that said, hey, to the president, you should negotiate in good faith and pay these workers what they're worth. Do the right thing.
So from 1946 to 1981, everyone doubled. And even the wealthiest people went up 70 or 75%. They did pretty well, and they started out so much higher. So everyone did well, and then since 1981, half the country's gone down. That's something when you sit down and begin laying it out to the business community and saying, you know, American democracy will not function without a middle class, and without a middle class that's growing and a sense of opportunity that people believe in, then you as a business community have, and here's 10 different things we can do, but you need to put more resources into the system and make sure those resources benefit workers.
I think that we have not done enough to protect each other. That's it. You know, the way I see this is we now live in an America where there's concentrated money and power. And you can actually go back and watch this one over the past 35, 40 years. That concentrated money and power has made one attack after another on unions. And they've done it lots of different ways, right? They've done it by shipping jobs overseas. They've done it by taking the legs out from underneath public sector unions. They've done it over and over and over. And understand why. It's not just about they want lower wages so they can have bigger profits, although they really do like that. It's not just that. It's that they don't want workers to have any power. They don't want you to have political power. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? Because here's the deal. I get that they have the advantages of having concentrated money and power. Man, that gives you a lot. But there's a whole lot more of us than there is of them. We get organized, we fight back, we can build the America of our dreams. Now, how do we get the chance to fight back? There are a lot of places where we need to be in this fight. For openers, how about if we do it through the Department of Labor? How about we say that we want an NLRB that's actually on the side of labor? There's a commerce department out there for the other guys, right? And we want, whenever employers interfere with the rights of workers to organize, to bargain collectively, then we want an NLRB, we want a Department of Labor that comes in on the side of the workers and puts a stop to it.